Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Hatchett presiding. Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Good day. You may be seated. Oh, we have a situation here today, don't we? Ms. Smiley, this is also unfortunate. I understand that you have been giving money, that over the years you've given more than $150,000 to the educational foundation that Mr. Holtz runs.
Sorry, myself and my family, Your Honor.
You and your family have been very, very generous. You were in court today because there was a specific gift, most recently of $15,000, that you had some special conditions on that gift. Tell me about it, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for the opportunity to get my $15,000 donation returned to me from Mr. Holtz's organization, Bright Smart Futures. I've been extremely fortunate in my life, and I hold education to be the key to every success that I've had. I find it extremely important for young people to get an education, to get the right start in life. And my family is also of the same opinion. We've had, again, been very fortunate in our lives to have the means to donate money to various worthy organizations. For a long time, we donated to Mr. Holtz's organization, Bright Smart Futures. What happened was they approached me on behalf of my family as part of a fundraising campaign to create money and scholarships for students in underserved areas to go on to obtain education in four-year or colleges or universities.
All right, hold it right there. Let me understand about your organization. Tell me about the mission of your organization, Mr. Holtz.
The mission of our organization is to support students that need scholarships. The nonprofit takes in money from donors like Ms. Smiley, and we designate it as we see fit. We've been in business for over 20 years. I've been the director for over 10 years.
All right.
I also have a pre-existing relationship with Ms. Smiley's family.
How so?
Well, they've been donating for 5+ years. And
it's my understanding from the paperwork filed with the court that they have contributed some $150,000 at least to the program.
Correct.
All right.
And they've donated and never asked me how the funds were going to be allocated.
All right.
Your Honor, but that was a different situation. This particular donation was in correspondence with a specific fundraising solicitation.
All right.
It was to be for the use of creating a scholarship in the name of my family for an Atlanta-based student to go to an Atlanta four-year college or university.
Let me say this. My parents did not have a lot of money, but my family was wealthy in ways that you can't measure. But what my parents did is that they put a premium on education. And my education changed the direction of my life. And so I get it. Now, Mr. Holtz, in all fairness, was there a special fundraising drive that was going on when Ms. Smiley made the $15,000 contribution? Yes or no?
No.
There was not?
No, it was not specific towards one student.
I didn't ask you that. I said, was there a special fundraiser going on at the time that she made the $15,000 contribution? Yes or no?
No.
No, there was no special fundraising drive. Just out of the clear blue, she calls you up and says, I'm going to write a check for $15,000.
Absolutely, because fundraising for us is an ongoing process. We're always fundraising.
Coming up on...
You said there have never been any stipulations on her gift. She says this particular gift, though, she talked to you about it being named after her family and that she wanted a couple of criteria. She wanted the $15,000 to go to support a student in Atlanta who was going to an Atlanta area university or college. Now you're under oath. Did you never have that discussion with Ms. Smiley?
She expressed her wishes.
And what were her wishes?
Her wishes were that one student received the $15,000. I listened to her, and at the time, we had 4 students that needed this allocation. So the question is, either allocate the money towards the 4 students, and this is a question of need. They need the money now and the nonprofit is ready to allocate or designate the
Did
funds.
you go back to Ms. Smiley and say, you know what? You designated this $15,000, which is what you've said, that she wanted it to go to a student who was going to college in the Atlanta area. Explain to me what happened to the $15,000.
The $15,000 was allocated towards 4 students, and again, this is based on needs.
4 students, so that the 4 students go to an Atlanta area university, college, or university?
They went to vocational schools, a design school, FIDM, which falls into the description of higher education, and also a locksmith and other vocational categories.
Who did you bring as a witness here?
One of the recipients of Ms. Smiley's generous donation is right here, is Alana.
Okay, and Alana, you got part of this. How much money out of the $15,000, Mr. Holtz, was she allocated?
$3,500.
$3,500. And what did you use that $3,500 for?
Your Honor, I will be attending FIDM in San Francisco, and the $3,500 is going towards my actual tuition and cutting down on loan costs that I will need to take out.
All right, so
Your Honor, I have maybe would shed some light on this too. I have 2 pieces of documentation. One is a letter that I sent in conjunction with my initial donation, which specifies how I hope it will continue on in university situation. Also, I have the letter saying what was going to be happening with that money, that it was going to be dispersed a little bit to 4 different students. And this is the letter where he talks about that as well, Your Honor. I mean, that was another reason.
No,
I mean,
that's not
it's a
true.
drop in the bucket for her education. My hope was to give one student a good, solid start, and to have them really benefit from it instead of, $3,500 that's going to, be lost in the first semester in San Francisco.
So, Your Honor, I guess I should have waited, not designated the funds, and then this young lady, among the 3 others, wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to school.
Mr. Holtz, this foundation, this nonprofit has been in business for 20 years. Miss Smiley and her family are not the only contributors. So don't sit here and tell me that this $15,000 was the only resource you had to be able to help these 4 students, because I don't buy it. You read her letter. She specifically says, "It is my intention to donate over a 5-year period to Bright Lives Foundation the sum of $250,000. Over 5 years. That's $250,000. Why burn this bridge with a $15,000 gift that she made, that she specifically outlines in writing to you exactly how it's supposed to be allocated?
We're not trying to burn bridges. We're trying to mend this.
All right, let me tell you.
I did attempt to call her and to rectify this and resolve this prior to ending up here.
Mr. Holtz, this is very, very, very bad, because not only have you alienated a family that's already given $150,000, then you get another $15,000, and they plan to give the program, the nonprofit, to send other young people to school $250,000. So let me just say something positive to you. I appreciate the fact that you are supporting young people, but that $15,000 was not intended to help someone go to vocational school for plumbing and fashion design and the other 2 categories you told me.
All these categories fall within the
No, they
definition
don't. No, they don't. No,
of
they
higher
don't.
education.
No, they do not. When a layperson says, I am making a contribution for higher education, the reasonable conclusion and assumption is that it's going to be college and university. You're going to pay every dime of this $15,000 back because you don't get it. And your board is foolish to let you continue to be
I was
CEO.
perfectly within my rights with my actions.
Well, you're going to be perfectly in your rights with your action to give back the $15,000, because
That's
in
your
writing.
opinion.
Oh, my opinion is the only one that matters in this courtroom. Mr. Holston, if you say one more word, I'm holding you in contempt of court. You hear me? Say one more word. I dare you to say one more word in here. You are obnoxious. You should be fired as a CEO. Your board is ridiculous to have you because you have burned critical bridges, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that could be used for students who need it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $15,000, and get out of my courtroom. Get him out of here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $15,000.
I have no problem with trade schools, but the money I donated was supposed to go to a university scholarship.
As director of the nonprofit, I allocate funds as I saw fit.
Coming up.